Okay, I might start off again by maybe just trying to get a sense of, you know, what happens in a situation like this. So we're almost a week, believe it or not, since I think we kind of realised on Thursday of last, you know, exactly what was unfolding, and in some ways it was maybe different and bigger than what we expected. And you know, the very definition of trauma is anything, you know, that is so unexpected and that the central nervous system can't deal with it at that particular time. And I think between the 24 hours of Thursday and Friday, we really got a sense of schools closing down. We really got a sense of what was happening, and particularly as messages and images flooded in from Italy and our European neighbours, we really began to get a sense of what was unfolding, and in some ways it was much bigger than what we expected. So when we spoke early on this week, I said in some ways this is trauma, and it's a traumatic event because, you know, 2 to 3 weeks ago we were all planning our spring, we were planning everything going ahead, and when your plans are taken and turned upside down and inside out, you know, it can leave you not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. Your central nervous system takes a shock. So, you know, that's what we're at the moment. And then in the weeks or in the weeks since, you might notice that your emotions are changing. So when it was announced a week ago, people became fearful, of course, and it was almost an energized fearful, because what happens when we get a trauma or a shock first is that we get a hit of adrenaline and neuroadrenaline, and our bodies release cortisol, and we're almost energized in fight or flight. So we have this nervousness and this sensation and this almost a level of energy that's going through our system, and we don't know what to do and we don't know what to think, but we're still energized. And then what happens in the weeks and period over that is that the emotions can change. So people might have, you know, notice a change in emotion, and that starts from being energized, fearful, and slowly you might become angry. And that might be angry at, somebody in your house that was away on holidays and came home and has potentially, you know, contracted this and brought it into the home. It might be the person who now believes that they may have got it and feeling guilt over it. It might be people, you know, trying to deal with banks and negotiate on behalf of their business, getting angry. So something has happened. Even though a week can be a short period, in our emotional world, a week can be a long time. And we have gone from this energized state of fear. Now these emotions are changing, as emotions do, and fear is giving way to anger, shame, guilt, regret. So that's the first thing. So what I would say is just be mindful and understand what's the emotion I'm feeling right now, because every emotion is different and everybody's processing and dealing with this different. So some people might have already started put contingency plans in place. Some people might have been quicker off the mark, and for some people it's actually only beginning to dawn on them now. So just like bereavement, you know, any type of trauma, we all process it different in different ways. And I think that's the first thing to realize, is that from now on we'll all start to feel and be experiencing different emotions in different ways at different times. The next thing I'd like to say is that what we're becoming aware of right now is that, you know, this won't be over in 2 or 3 or even 4 weeks. And I think what we need to prepare for mentally, physically, psychologically, is that this will probably go on 10, 12, 14, 16 weeks. And when we're in that energized state of fight or flight, of course, what we do, as I said, is we get energized, we get busy around the house, we start doing home workouts. I've even seen people do 2 or 3 home workouts a day. We're busy, we're distracted. The danger with that is then that we will start to burn off important energy levels, and we will start to become depleted of energy. So, you know, in a fight or flight environment, a fight or flight response is really powerful if we're doing a sprint, something that's fast, all out explosion and ends fast. But what we're realizing now is that this is different, and we need a sustained level of energy. And what we need to manage that level of energy is really good systems and process around how we eat, around how we sleep, around how we manage stress, because this is the environment we're going to be living in for the next few weeks. And it's really important, just like any lifestyle change, that it's towards repeatable and sustainable. So we need to make sure that we're living in a way that's repeatable and sustainable, that we're managing our energy levels, we're getting sleep. And particularly for someone that's trying to manage a business or manage a young family, and it's easy for all our energy to get consumed in one day or 1 week. But then what happens is, as week 3, 4 and 5 rolls on, each week will bring a different wave of a different emotion. Each week will bring a different challenge, and whether that's in your family, in your health, or in your business, each week will bring a different challenge. And what you have to try and remember is that each week you will have to rise to that challenge with clarity and focus and compassion and kindness. And it's nothing different to how we live our life. We have to live our life in a really sustainable way. We have to manage our energy levels, and we have to manage the simple things that are in our control. And there are all the things that we do around routines, around sleep, around how we wake up in the morning. It's the time we make to deep unplug. It's asking ourselves, what am I looking at? And is it energizing me? Is it giving me sustainable, calm energy? Or is it giving my central nervous system an overload of fear and anxiety? So the greatest thing that we can be for our family and for the people we lead in over the next few weeks are people who have sustainable calmness, compassion and control. So we really need to look at this now from something that's going to last for the next few weeks, and make sure that we're at our best as each week unfolds, as each different emotion arises on a daily, weekly basis. The way I would also kind of try to describe what might be happening so we can prepare for the next couple of weeks is, if anybody imagines somebody surfing, the first thing they have to do is they have to get themselves in the surfboard out across the breakwater, out to where they want to go. And that takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort to get out there. If anybody's ever climbed a mountain, you know that getting to the top takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of sacrifice. And the reason you do it, the reason you put the effort in, is because you know at the top of that is something important. You know at the top of that is something really special. So the surfer goes out, he keeps getting knocked off the surfboard, but he gets back to rebalance, he gets back on the board, he keeps paddling back out because he knows when he gets out to the wave it's going to be something special. The person climbing the mountain knows that they're going to keep walking, they're going to keep putting in the work, because when they get to the top it's going to be important, it's going to be special. And we're going to be asked and challenged to physically, mentally and emotionally keep fighting and keep rebalancing. Every time a different week or a different piece of news tends to knock us off balance, we will have to have the inner strength and calm to fight to get back on balance, get back grounded, get back focused. And the one thing that will keep us focused is, like the surfer, like the person climbing the mountain, we need to know what's the thing that's going to drive me to get beyond this. So beyond the breakwater, beyond the next hill, there is something more important and something more special than what's happening right now. And every single one of us has something that we can fight for. Every single one of us has something that's worth fighting every single day. Fighting not to tune into negative news. Fighting to do the right things. And for us all, it's something different. For me personally, it's, please God, the arrival of my new baby in a few weeks' time. And I want to be the best dad that I can be when he arrives. I want to be the healthiest dad. And I'm going to make sure that I do everything I can to be that dad. My parents right now are on the opposite side of the country, and I haven't seen them in weeks. The chances are, by the next time I see them, I will have a son. And I want to hug my mum and dad. On the podcast I did with Dan and Trish, I mentioned something small. I said, every time I hug my mum and dad, I take a second to make it the best hug I can, because we never know when that hug is the last. I have made a decision that I have not hugged my mum and dad for the last time. And I have built that into my mind. And every single day, whatever comes at me, I find something to rebalance myself, I find something to fight for, because I know I'm bigger than this. And I know that if we allow our thoughts and emotions to get pulled into the chaos, we become chaotic. But I've also realized that when we pull our mind into somewhere of love and calmness, when we can just see beyond that breakwater, when we can visualize what that next hug of our parents are going to be like, what the arrival of a new baby is going to be, when that business does get back and we do reopen, and in a few months' time when we look back at this as one of the greatest learning opportunities we've ever gone through, that's the images we have to see every day. There has to be something beyond the breakwater that's worth fighting for. And I'd ask every one of you tonight to think of the thing that's absolutely worth fighting for. The one thing that in somehow is going to give you the strength and the courage to say, I'm bigger than this, and I have to make a decision. And the decision is that I am doing everything in my power to be the best that I can be, and to make sure that when this settles down, all those golden moments are waiting for me. And I find that helpful in my own self in the last few days. I often quote Dispenza, and he says we have to be inspired by a vision of the future. If the past or the present isn't what you want, create the vision in your mind of something that is what you want. If the present is one of fear and anxiety, then we don't want to let that affect our physiology. So even by meditation, by visualization, by closing our eyes, and for me to visualize the next time I hold my mum, the next time I hug my dad, I transport myself mentally and emotionally into that space, and now my physiology, my central nervous system is responding to that feeling of love and passion. I'm releasing oxytocin into my system. And in some ways I'm saying to the virus, you can go to hell, because there's something bigger in my life that I am connected to. There's something bigger in my mind that I am emotionally connected to. And that's what we're going to try to do tonight. Give everybody an experience of what is the one thing you can visualize. What is the vision of the future that you hold? And when this is all said and done, what is it that you can have and do? And you'll say, that is why I fought for this. And I'll finish up by just trying to say that be gentle with yourself. No emotion is right or wrong. None of us have all the answers. As I said in the last time, a lot of the normal structures that we have, where we normally go for all the answers, they've been taken away now. The things of distraction, the coffee shops, the pubs have been taken away. And in many ways we're left alone with our own voice and our own mind. And if we haven't done the work over the last few years to make that inner voice, that inner space, a place of calm and a place of love, then this can be challenging. But what a great opportunity this is. Sometimes we have to be forced into a place of self-examination and self-development. But whether we've been forced into it or not, when we start to go on that journey of inner development, we suddenly realize that most of the stuff on the outside of us pales in significance into what we have on the inside of us. There is so much more that we have on the inside that is more powerful than anything we have or anything that comes in front of us. And just tonight, give yourself that time and space to think of the one thing that you will fight for. Think of the moment, the hug, the kiss, the person on the far side that is waiting for you. And ask yourself, when this is said and done, what's the biggest learning that I will take from this? And maybe that is the value of social community, the value of every moment, the preciousness of human life, and beyond whatever is to come in the next few weeks is something incredible. But can you see it? Can you visualize it? We need to stop visualizing and thinking about the things we don't want. and be inspired, be ignited by the visions and the emotions and the connections to the things that we want. And when we allow our energy to be put into those things, it gives us courage, it gives us compassion. And as I said before, it's often fear that infects us. But if fear infects us, it's courage that makes us immune. Be strong enough, be bold enough to see the things you want, to see the new person you're going to become through this experience. Write down the things that you're learning as each day unfolds, and the things we'll never take for granted again. Because the challenge is this will pass. But all of these things have all happened in our world before. Sometimes it's happened to us, sometimes it's happened to the previous generation. And the danger is we don't learn the lessons of how valuable and special life is, how precious each moment is. Sometimes we get caught up in the day-to-day stuff. So be gentle with yourself. Realize that this now is going to be a few weeks and we need sustained, repeatable energy. We need to manage our energy and our emotions very, very well. We need to manage our food. We need to manage our sleep to the best we can. We need to also make sure that we're not consumed by the images and the noise of the present. Beyond the present is a vision and image that is exciting, that's worth fighting for, and that's going to motivate and ignite and inspire you every single day to wake up and say, this is not defining me, and there is something bigger that is waiting for me beyond this. And it's that vision of the future, that emotional connection to that picture that will flood through your system, that will ignite your central nervous system, will switch on healing, and will give you the why that you need in times of adversity. We have a why, an electrical charge that is powerful enough to transport us beyond the adversity and into a different space. So the meditation to follow is all about that. It's all about running through the body, the different parts and the different chakras. And it's about opening our mind to somewhere beyond the present, somewhere more powerful, transporting ourselves mentally and emotionally and physiologically into a different space, one of calm and love and compassion. And through meditation, we have known scientifically now that we can affect our body on a chemical level simply by visualizing a place of compassion and love and excitement. I hope you really enjoyed. Miriam.
So I'd invite you all, we're going to just come into a meditation practice tonight to try and anchor some of what Gerry has spoken about there and bring it into a practical experience through meditation. So I'd invite you to get into a comfortable position wherever you are. You can be seated, you can be lying down, it doesn't matter. So just coming into a comfortable position for you. And if it's comfortable for you, I'd invite you to just relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then just gently, ever so gently, just flicker the eyes to a close. If you're not comfortable closing down the eyes, it's absolutely fine. You can just bring your gaze or your awareness to the floor in front of you or the tip of your nose. And I invite you to turn your gaze inwards this evening and go on this little bit of an inward journey tonight. So often in life we're using our eyes to look externally. We're looking to the outside world for affirmation, for confirmation, for acceptance and approval. But for the purpose of this evening, we're going to really try and untangle ourselves from the outer world, the outer web of fear and anxiety at the moment, and focus our awareness inward. And in doing that, we're bound to meet all different parts within ourselves, all the different voices, all the different characters that live within each and every one of us. We're bound to meet the fearful one, the anxious one perhaps, maybe the tired one, maybe the one that's feeling a little overwhelmed at the moment, a little out of balance perhaps. But deep within us, there is also within each and every one of us, there is the strong one. There is the resilient one. There is the compassionate one, the loving one. There is that voice of hope. There is that voice of strength. There is that voice of inner calm and ease. And in the word nervousness in itself, which we're hearing time and time again these days, we can often associate with the nervous system being wrong or broken or not functioning correctly, when in effect it really means that our sensory system, our nervous system, is functioning perfectly, but it's just functioning at an overstimulation. It's overactivated. So what we're going to do tonight is to try and anchor ourselves more into a grounded space of calm, ease and grace, so that we can recalibrate this nervous system, reduce the voice of fear and doubt, and enhance the inner voice of compassion and courage. And the way that we can do this is through the breath and through dissolving the tightness and tensions in the physical body. So just in this moment, I invite you to relax the shoulders down and away from the ears even further. To let your palms be perhaps open and soft. To soften through the forehead, to soften through the very crown of the head. To relax your jaw, to relax the back of the throat area. To relax the shoulders, almost like a wave of energy, letting the hands drop down, letting the hands be relaxed. And letting all of the muscles of the lower body, the hips, the thighs, all the way down to the calves, the shins, the ankles, the toes, letting the whole body soften and surrender right now in this moment. And just ever so gently becoming aware of your breath. Just beginning to deepen the breath ever so gently, so inhaling through the nose. Let your belly rise ever so gently. And on your exhale, you're just softening, surrendering, letting the belly fall, letting the tensions dissolve. Inhaling, creating space, bringing in that cleansing oxygen to refuel your body, your mind. exhale, softening, surrendering, and letting go. On your next inhale, just bringing your awareness to the outer layer of the body, to the skin. And just letting your skin breathe. Letting it be open, letting any tightness holding or resisting around the skin, just letting it go. Exhaling, softening, almost letting your body just melt like jelly, surrendering, soothing, calming, relaxing. Bringing your awareness now just slightly below the skin, down into the tissues underneath the skin, to the connective tissues. And again, on your exhale, see if we can untangle any of the tensions, untangle any of the tightness, untangle any of the blockages. And as we breathe in, moving down even a little bit further, this time down into the bloodstream within the body, to the veins, to the arteries, and just imagining the blood flowing freely throughout the body. Releasing any stagnation that we may be holding physically within the body right now. As you breathe in, you're breathing in fresh, cleansing, oxygenated energy right down into the blood and allowing this to permeate through your entire body, to every organ, to every muscle, to every gland, cleansing and purifying. And right down into each and every cell in your body. And in this moment, almost visualizing every cell in your body is bathing in a beautiful, cleansing, golden light. Every cell in your body is glistening, shining. Almost like every cell is smiling. And then deeply breathing in to this space, inhaling and exhaling. And just noticing how you're feeling right now in the body. Noticing how you're feeling emotionally in your energetic body. Knowing that every emotion is like a wave, it comes and goes, just like life. Nature itself is all about rising and falling. And we will rise and we will fall in our own lives, in our own emotions every single day. Knowing that within each and every one of us is an inner spaciousness, an inner place of calm that we can return to time and time again. within this moment, I invite you to bring your awareness to the very, very base of your spine, to the root energy center, the root chakra. Just allow yourself to feel rooted, grounded, connected to the earth below you. And just letting the following affirmations or words, just by osmosis, almost dissolve into your body, into your mind. In these challenging times, I find my ground. And I anchor into the feelings of safety and security. And I know that I am enough and I have enough. Take a deep breath in. And a big exhale, sigh it all out, soften and surrender. Then gently just moving your awareness up to just the area between the navel and the pelvis, to the sacral chakra. And again, just letting the words wash through you. I am deeply creative. And I have the ability and the capability to create, to recreate, and to rebirth new ideas and opportunities and blessings, even amongst the perceived adversities. Take a deep breath in and exhale, let go. Moving the awareness up to the very center of the body, to the solar plexus, just above the navel. I am confident and courageous. And I have a deep burning passion, purpose, and light within me. And I know that I can and I will get through this with ease and grace. Taking a big, deep cleansing breath. Exhale, soften and surrender. Moving our awareness up to the chest, to the heart center, Anahata. I expand my heart through acts of kindness and service to the world. And I am open and receptive to receiving gifts and blessings from those around me. Taking a big cleansing breath, filling up the heart center, filling up the chest. Feel the beauty, the pleasure of taking a full deep breath. Exhale and surrender. Gently just scanning your awareness up to the throat area. I choose to use words that are laced with truth and authenticity, love and kindness at this time. And I refrain from engaging in conversations of fear, doubt, and worry. Taking a big, deep cleansing breath in. And exhale, let go. third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows. And in your mind's eye, choosing to see the beauty behind the pain. I choose to manifest peace over fear. And I choose to deeply connect to my intuition, to the voice of trust, not the voice of worry. Taking a big, deep cleansing breath. Let really fill up the body, expand and softly let go. And then lastly, moving up to the final energy center, the crown chakra at the very, very top of your head. Probably one of the most important ones in this moment. And just letting the following words again wash through you and over you, cleansing and bathing within each and every cell in the body. I choose to connect and understand the deeper meaning behind what is going on right now. To understand that these life events are possibly and potentially happening for us as opposed to us. That these events are unfolding for the greater evolution of our humanity, for our ecosystem, and for the evolution of our consciousness. Taking a big, deep cleansing breath. Inhale. And big exhale, big sigh. Let everything go. And just coming back to the heart center, at the very center of the chest, maybe taking your hands to your heart, bowing your head, softly bowing your chin towards the heart in gratitude for this evening's practice. And just connecting into that center of compassion and kindness for yourself and others. And just in this last few moments, maybe you're just visualizing a beautiful golden light shining out of your heart, and it's shining in front of you, behind you, above you and below you. It's shining out in all directions. Letting this healing, calming, soothing light, this light of hope, emanate and radiate out into your energy field, out into your room, out into the house that you're in, out beyond your house to your street, out beyond your street to your county, out beyond your county to your world. Take our hands to prayer, right hand and left hand meet at the center of the chest. And just closing tonight's practice with a deep cleansing breath. Let's inhale together, fill up the heart, fill up the lungs, and exhale. May you be well. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering and mental anxiety. May you know peace. Namaste.
Just to finish up before we go, I'd just like to remember what Miriam said, that sometimes when there's much changing and much happening on the outside, all our eyes, all our attention goes on the outside. And in a time of challenge, sometimes we make two mistakes. One, we overestimate the challenge ahead of us, and B, we underestimate what's inside of us. It goes back to that amazing question that Mary asked the little boy, her little son Jesus, when he doubted himself. And she looked lovingly into his eyes the way that only a mother can say. And she said, "Do you not know who you are?" For every single one of us on here tonight, do you not know who you are? Do you not know that you have a heart that is capable of infinite compassion and kindness and courage? A heart that for every minute that you've been alive, for all of your ups and all of your downs, every time when your brain said I can't, your heart said I can. When your brain said I'm finished, your heart said one more. This incredible heart knows nothing, only resilience, and it knows nothing more than getting you to do what you want to do. Do you not know about your incredible immune system with an incredible ability to heal, to renew and replenish on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? Do you not know about your incredible brain that can manifest images? Do you not know through meditation you can put yourself in a space of calm? You can be inspired by a vision of the future. In the weeks and the days ahead, what is the picture? What is the emotion that is going to get you to fight every single day? And when you come out on the far side of this, and you will, can you see how you'll be standing? Can you see the new awakening that will have happened inside of you? And maybe then when somebody says, "Do you not know who you are?" you will say, "I do. And I am infinite. I am resilient. I am kind. And I am not here to play small. I am not here to go quietly. I am here to stand up for and to protect the things and people I love. And that starts with me." Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
And any comments, questions, feedback, we'd greatly appreciate it. And thank you, Miriam, for beautiful meditation. And do not forget who you are.
Have a lovely evening. I hope you all sleep well, and thank you again for joining us. Namaste.